And it is a retro review for today's video. We have a blast from the past. This is the Transformers Dark of the Moon Deluxe Class Bumblebee. The figure was released way back in 2012. And I don't know if you remember this, but back in my old channel, the FX France channel, I'm not sure if everybody knows it, but my old channel was FX France before I took on the Chefatron channel. I did review the Transformers Dark of the Moon Deluxe Bumblebee, wherein I actually custom painted the MechTech weapon into gunmetal gray. Don't know if you reviewed that, but I will put a link in the description box below for this video. It's still a great looking figure, albeit in today's standards, the figure has, well, it falls short in today's standards for quality of figures, but back in the day, man, these figures looked great. They were big. They were fun to play with. Transformation was a lot of fun. Let's take a closer look at the details of this Dark of the Moon Deluxe Bumblebee. Head to toe, the figure stands at about 14 centimeters tall, or about 15.5 inches tall. For comparisons, here he is with the 2009 Transformers Revenge of the Fallen Deluxe Class Bumblebee, and we have the latest incarnation of Bumblebee in Rise of the Beasts. We have the Studio Series Deluxe Class Bumblebee. In terms of plastic quality, I mean, this figure is still the most solid, I think, in my opinion. I think it was the Dark of the Moon line that, well, it was the onset of the Transformers movie toys going downhill in terms of quality. The plastic is much lighter on this one. There's a lot of fiddly pieces here and there. The joints started becoming more loose, and the figures just started shrinking. So from the first two movies, the toy lines were huge figures, and Dark of the Moon, Age of Extinction, they started shrinking, and now we have Rise of the Beasts. But I am happy and pleased to say that the plastic quality of the Rise of the Beast Studio Series Bumblebee is far better by a mile compared to the plastic that they used for Dark of the Moon. I mean, this plastic is already bordering on the type of quality plastic that we got with the first two movie lines. And it's a shame that figures just started going downhill from Dark of the Moon. Nevertheless, it's still a pretty good looking figure. I mean, even if he looks so thin and there's a lot of gaps here and there, lack of mass and solidness compared to the more recent Bumblebee figures. I mean, this one just compresses very nicely and has just a lot more mass and beefiness to it. This one, he feels very spindly, gangly, and lots of gaps here and there. But you look at the silhouette, you look at the colors, the paint apps, the sculpt, the figure still looks great. Probably the biggest concern about this figure, apart from these wheels, still not finding a real place to go. I mean, it's been a problem since 11 years ago. The backpack just doesn't want to stay put. It just kind of nestles there, and, you know, it's very fiddly, and it's a little annoying. But yeah, other than that, I love the way it looks. Now, the figure comes with, I don't know if you kids can still remember this. I mean, if you don't know what this weapon is, man, you are so young. But if you do, these are what they call the MechTech weapons. And they had these spring-loaded gimmicks. You pull on the lever, and then it just sort of expands the gun into... It's a very plain weapon made of this light gray plastic. Hence, if you that's the reason why I custom painted my old figure back in 2012, because this thing was just so plain. I had to paint this one silver and this one gunmetal gray. But yeah, I love the mechanism. And most of the figures had these 5mm peg holes. They were called MechTech ports. That's where the whole MechTech term was coined from, the old MechTech gimmick for Dark of the Moon. Okay, in terms of articulation, the figure has a ball-jointed neck. He's got a waist swivel, ball-jointed shoulders, a swivel and hinge elbow. The wrists can go in and out because of transformation. Got a ball-jointed hip that is super loose. You got a thigh swivel. You got a hinge knee. And the feet, they can go up and down. No rocker tilt. The yellow that they used is a little bit of an off yellow. It's a dark kind of yellow bordering on tangerine, orangey yellow type of plastic. So far cry from this. It's much brighter than this one though. This one feels a little bit muted, but probably because of age. He's got some black paint apps right here, very nice matte finish. The head sculpt is painted beautifully. He's got some silver paint on the face, a little bit on the horns. And if you shine a light back then, oh yeah, definitely. Look at that. Fantastic light piping. Very cool blue clear plastic. Okay, and you get to see more of the paint apps here. We'll see more of that in the car mode. Overall, a cool looking 2012 Dark of the Moon Bumblebee figure. Transformation. Set the weapon off to the side. Unpeg the chest. Go ahead and fold these pieces up. Fold down the front parts of the bumper. Okay, and then fold out this piece right here. Fold this piece right here. The feet. I'm gonna go ahead and fold. I'm going to fold these panels right here, okay, together, combine the legs, okay, and then assemble the top part of the car just to stabilize the alt mode. Fold the doors and tab them in. That should stabilize the shape of the car. Fold the fists inside. Rotate the forearm so that the gauntlets are inside. Fold it inside. And then just close in the fenders and the front wheels. And there is Dark of the Moon Bumblebee in his Camaro concept alt mode that's tricked out with a spoiler and a race, what is this, a mesh or a net for racing. And there is a MechTech port right here, so you can plug in that weapon. Okay, and then if you want a comparison, here he is with Rise of the Beasts Bumblebee. Look at that. Hey, they actually kind of scale. Well, you know, not really. He's still in a bigger scale. But in terms of size and length, they're fairly comparable. Yeah, very cool. To transform him back into robot mode, you know, I'll admit the transformation of this figure isn't the most solid of transformation, but it's not as annoying as the Revenge of the Fallen transformations. It's actually pretty enjoyable. So go ahead and open up the doors, fold up the arms, just detach the roof, just fold that up like that, detach the feet, go ahead and fold up, fold, fold, split the wheels from the engine block, go ahead and split the arms, go ahead and fold the torso. Okay, there we go. And then the chest is going to tilt like this, that, and then you tab this torso piece, okay, and then just rotate, unfold the arms and the fists, and there you go. Now officially the transformation is you pop the windows out, and yeah, I guess that's more accurate, but you know, I've always felt that the windows should be down so that the doors really form some form of wings for Bumblebee. But if you want the official transformation, there. So before all of you start typing that I mistransformed the wings, I did it on purpose because it just feels a little bit off for me, albeit I think it's more accurate. I can't remember, it's been a while since I watched Dark of the Moon. So yeah, okay, I prefer actually this way, but okay. Purposes of the review, you want the official robot transformation. There you go. And then you plug the weapon here, or you can plug it only here, or you can actually hold it. I think you can hold it. Some final thoughts on this 2012 Transformers Dark of the Moon Deluxe Class Bumblebee. Today's standard, it's not that great. But back in the day, this was one of the coolest Bumblebee figures that came from the movie line, from Hasbro and Takara Tomy. This was a really enjoyable figure. It's got a fairly easy transformation, not as annoying as Revenge of the Fallen or the first Bumblebee. I mean, it has a lot of looseness to it, some loose joints here and there. Plastic is a little bit light, but still a very, very cool looking Bumblebee figure. I think it still holds up to this day. It's huge. It's a lot of fun to play with. Great articulation, great sculpt. Not as movie accurate as the Studio Series, but very, very cool nonetheless. The figure is going to get, in today's standard, it should get a 7, but I'm going to bump it up to an 8 out of 10. Let me know in the comment section what you guys think of this Transformers Dark of the Moon Deluxe Class Bumblebee. Hit that notification bell so you never miss out on any of my latest video reviews. And if it's your first time here, please subscribe. Thanks for watching.